What does it take to go from an entry level IT position to a cybersecurity identity and access manager? In today's fast paced digital world, cybersecurity is more important than ever before. Every day, countless organizations fall prey to malicious attacks, resulting in devastating consequences. What if I could tell you that you could learn the secrets to protect yourself and your business from these threats? Our guest today is going to take you on a journey through the world of identity and access management, from the very basics all the way up to advanced techniques. Yes, our today's guest works for Sentinel One as an identity and access manager. He is also a cyber mentor for the Cyber Mentor Dojo. He's created his own Udemy courses to help you enter the IT field and is the host of the KevTech IT YouTube channel. Welcome to the show, Kevin. Thank you for taking the time. Do you mind taking a few minutes and introducing yourself and all the amazing things you do for the IT community in whole?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Kevin Apolinario. You can look me up as Kevin Apolinario. I go as KevTech IT support on YouTube. You could probably find me on LinkedIn really fast because I post a lot of selfie pictures. I do have a lot of stuff that I do. So I do like IT training. I do have a Udemy course with 12,000 students on it. I cover IT support, help desk, service desk. Basically, I have videos all over the place. So like I have videos that I created for military veterans. So I worked a lot with veterans, specifically Peter Klein from Boots to Books. I'm friends with Simon from InfoSec Live. He knows who I am. Some cybersecurity folks know who I am because I just happen to be everywhere. I'm also friends with CompTIA as well. They know who I am as well. So I'm a technical trainer. I do some videos here and there, some courses here and there. I just recently started a company called KevTech Academy. So that's going to be very interesting, and we'll talk about that later on. But I also currently work for a company called Sentinel One, which is a cybersecurity company. I work in identity access management. And yeah, I've been in IT for about roughly 8 years. I switched over from IT support going into cybersecurity. So now I work in cybersecurity, and that's pretty much a little bit about me in a nutshell. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So
Well, you mentioned you work for Sentinel One as identity and access manager. What is that like? That's I think that's starting to be a growing, job title and a growing section of IT. Do you mind kind of diving in a bit more of what you do?
yeah. So I work. So we don't have like the traditional identity access management roles. Traditionally, they do like ping AD, secure authentication, secure AD, Okta, SSO. You deal with a lot of Azure AD and some cloud services stuff, some PAM. I don't know if you know what PAM is. Some other stuff like AD, Active Directory. So me, I don't really certain things I don't do. I do specifically 701 stuff. So it gets a little complicated because it's 701 stuff that customers use our product. So what I deal with is I deal with Active Directory, AD hardening. I deal with a Active Directory AD attacks. So someone may be going into and trying to attack that domain controller. I also deal with holograms, and bot sync. So if you guys don't know what that means, basically it means that you have a hacker. He's trying to attack your computer. That computer is not a real computer. It's a honeypot. And basically they go into that computer and redirects you to another computer that's not real. And basically we get to see what you're doing on that computer. It's behind the scenes. We see what you're doing. So you're not actually in an actual real computer. You're in a honeypot. You're in a fake computer. So bot syncs redirect you to another VM or another PC. We see your activity. We monitor your activity. And then we have like ways around that to actually harden your security. So that's what I deal with. So I deal with VMs, honeypots, basically trying to harden your group policy because a lot of people have these stupid policies that are not that good, like change your password after 3 days or whatever. Like you can do certain things. So we have to harden your AD, your services accounts, admin accounts. We run assessments to see like why is X, Y, and Z user has admin rights? Doesn't make any sense. Just give them access to do this and that's it. So that's basically what my job is. And there's just a little bit of AD, Active Directory, cloud services, Azure. Deal a lot with hardening AD because if you're not familiar with AD, and I'm not sure if you know this, but there is a account called the KRGT account. It's a service account that if you go into your domain controller, it's actually this by default. It's disabled, but if you go into advanced features, you enable the account. The account actually is actually there, and that account we hardened that account as well. You have to by Microsoft recommendations, you have to change that password every 6 months. You have to change it 2 times in a row, and that account has been around since 2008, 2008. The reason why that account is there is because it controls authentication in Kerberos. So when you authenticate for the first time, it actually that account checks in to see if that's actually you and you're logging in. It controls all this other stuff behind the scenes. But that account could get hacked. So part of my job is looking at that account as well. That service account. It's by default when you install Active Directory, that account is already there. So you have to harden that account. And there are attacks like Minicats, for example. You could do Minicats attacks and actually hack that account. There's also other things you could do, which is like you could inject and poison AD and a bunch of other stuff. I'm not going to talk about that today, but that's pretty much what I do in a nutshell in my job. So it's very interesting. It's an interesting job. It's a very interesting job. So.
How did you learn all these skills? Like, for this job, how did you learn the skills needed?
So I created a Try Hack Me account. And that's basically why I did Try Hack Me, and I was looking at all the Try Hack Me stuff, and I was just practicing with Try Hacking because I'm not a cybersecurity guy. I'm just telling you right now, like I'm not a cyber. I come from IT support, so I went to when I went for this job interview. I went for this job actually. Like I went online and looked at like common AD attacks. Which ones do I need to know? Which ones I don't need to know? And that was an interview question actually. Was a common AD attacks for 701? They asked me about that. So I went online, I looked at the AD attacks. Oh, there's an attack for Minicats. I didn't know that. There's a different types of attacks, and there's also hashes that store your passwords on your Windows System 32 files. I didn't know about that. So it's very interesting stuff. I just did some research, did some homework. Went online, found some stuff online. At the end of the day, you have to invest in yourself. So I actually signed up for a Try Hack Me account and try to learn like some cybersecurity stuff. So then when I went for the job interview and I know you're going to ask me about that, probably the job interview, how that went. But I went to the job interview. When I went and I did the interview and my manager was asking me like, oh, what do you do besides your IT support, besides working IT support? Like, what do you actually do or what you're actually doing right now to get better in security? And I talked about Try Hack Me and I talked about all the rooms I'm doing and stuff like that. And he really liked that. He's like, oh, this is pretty cool. I didn't know you were doing that. I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. So he likes hearing that stuff. And my manager likes that I had the willingness to learn and I have the willingness to get out of my comfort zone and try to do something that is not related to IT support. So hopefully that answers your question.
No, absolutely. It does. And since you brought up the interview, let's talk about what that was like, the interviewing process for an, identity and access manager.
Yeah, definitely. So I basically did 3 interviews. So the first one was an email interview. So I was like, oh, explain to me what Kerberos is and the AD attacks and stuff like that. I did some Googling online, found some answers, and I found some really good answers, and I had to reword it and the way the way I talk about it, because the answers are going to go to someone that's not tech related. So I had to explain it in a non-tech way. So then I got that. I got that answer. I did really well with that. Okay, we need you to do an interview with your manager. So I did an interview with my manager, and that my manager, like, he destroyed me. Like we went in an interview, and he was asking me all these crazy like technical terms I never even heard of in my life. And I talk about Try Hack Me and all this other stuff, but like when he was asking me about certain things, I didn't know how to answer it. And I said to him, I was just honest with him, like, I don't know the answer to this question, but if you give me 24 hours, I'll try to figure out what the answer is for this. I'll try to go online and Google and actually figure out what that is and how that works and stuff like that. I'll give you an answer tomorrow. I mean, I don't know right now, but if I go online and take the time to learn it, I'll figure it out. So I don't know, for some weird reason, I did really bad on that interview. For some weird reason, I got called for a second interview, which makes no sense at all. And I went to do my second. And the second interview I did was written really well. The second one was really well. Like that one, like I did really, like, even though it was a director. Even the director was like, you did really well in this interview. I'm like, oh, awesome. And this one was more like, it was more like because a lot of people don't know this, like Like, and I think it was I'm not sure who. I think not was it David Bumble or Keith Barker. I'm not sure who it was, but one of the guys has a courses on SLA, right? SLA and ITEL basically. So I talked about SLA agreements and service levels agreements and why it's important that when you're making some changes on the back end, especially when you make changes on cybersecurity and you make changes on endpoints and stuff like that, you need to make a ticket for that, and it goes and becomes a priority, and then you get all these proper approvals and the proper channels that come in. My director was asking me about that. He was asking me about SLA and SLA tickets, and we talked about ITEL a little bit, and he was asking me like, why is that important? And like, that's important because you don't want to just make changes on the fly. Like imagine you have like 100 machines up and running, and then you start making changes on the fly while people are working. It doesn't work that way. So you have to actually make a ticket for that. It goes through the proper channels. You get approval for that. And then the way, because he was asking me, how would I make changes for users, right? And I said, like, I'll do it in waves of 3 to 4 people, not like 100 people at the same time. It doesn't work that way. So I would literally, like, if I'm going to make a change, first of all, I want to do it on Sandbox. I want to make sure that it actually works, right? So you wouldn't do it on an actual person. You want to do it, like, on a demo environment. So what I did was I did it in a demo environment. I would do something in a demo environment, see if it works, see if we don't have any hiccups. Then after that, I'll actually go and do it on a live person. So then you pick the least lower level people that you know that you're okay with or you're cool with or you have no issues with them, that they'll let you do those changes. Because the last people you want to deal with are the executives and the C-level folks. Those are like the last people you want to hit, right, with these changes that you're making. So I explained that to the director because it was a job interview that he was asking, like, how does that, like, you know, SLA and stuff like that, how would you make changes and stuff like that? So it's called like a pilot test. So basically you only test a certain amount of people. So you only get like 4 people. Then you increase it like over time, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, until you actually go into the last people that are executives that are like, you have like maybe like 6 or 7 executives, right? Those people, they're going to be a lot of hand holding, right? Because you don't want to have any weird issues with them. That's the last thing you want, and they get pissed off at you, right? So that's basically how I explained it to the director when I did a job interview with him. He really liked that explanation. Like, wow, this makes sense. Yes, I totally agree with you, Kevin. Yeah, you would not make changes on the fly like that. You pick a certain amount of people you make changes with. You pick people that you're actually okay with, that they know who you are, that you know that they're gonna throw a fit if you make any changes on their computer or their box. And obviously, you do it on the weekend when no one's busy, when there's not like a rush hour. You know, you got to pick certain days to do it. So, my interview questions with him were based on that, based on personality, and then that's it. And then he liked me because of my personality, my willingness to learn, and also the questions and answers I gave him. He also liked the fact that I'm not a jerk because he's like, okay, can I work with this person? Can you work with our team? You know, like some of these directors and executives, all they care about is if you have a good personality. So.
Right.
What got me the job was my personality, nothing to do with IT.
That's awesome.
To be honest with you, so hopefully that answers your question.
Absolutely, and that's kind of what I preach all the time on this channel is those soft skills, and a lot of times when you go for a job interview, you might not have the technical hard skills, but it's okay. Those skills can be taught on the job. But the hardest thing to teach is your ability to communicate with others. And, if you're a good fit for that team, because sometimes that's what matters the most. If, no employer wants to hire someone that's going to, butt heads with their teammates and make it difficult for everyone else. They want someone who's going to mesh into their environment and work well, because they know if they can find that person that's a team player and works well with all the other employees, they can teach them all the other skills that they need to do, need to know to do the job. So it very much sounds like that's what exactly happened there, is that, they really liked your personality, and it paid off in the long run.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I did an interview with executives and directors last year, and that's one of the things that came out with me with executives and directors was, can I work with this person 8 to 5, or am I going to strangle this person? So it goes back to that, like really, like can I work with this person with me 8 to 5? If I can't work with you 8 to 5, and I have to see you every day, and I don't like you, I'm probably not going to hire you. That's just the reality of jobs. I'm just being honest. So.
Absolutely. Now, I kind of got a interesting question because you individually, like, you have a lot of insight to the IT field in a whole. Like, you have your YouTube channel, you have all the different volunteer work you do, and stuff. Do you think the IT field is going through a change? I hear a lot of people are really scared that we might be going into a recession and there's going to be job loss and stuff like that. What do you see for the future of the IT field in whole?
I right now, like, there is a recession going on. There are people getting let go, and especially specifically Amazon. I'm going to say Amazon because they let go like 9,000 people, and they keep letting people go over and over again. There are still going to be jobs available. I'll be honest with you. Like, the jobs for IT is very on demand, especially in cybersecurity, specifically cybersecurity. There's always going to be jobs available. Certain jobs, they will get replaced at some point. Maybe not now, maybe like 10 years, maybe more. I'm not sure how long, but like, because we have ChatGPT and all this other stuff, like automation and stuff like that. So you will see like certain jobs get cut out, like IT support, maybe Helpdesk, maybe desktop support, that you could actually hire people from outside overseas and probably automate some of that stuff as well. So maybe that will change in the future, like certain like level one jobs or certain jobs that are manual, that may change in the future. And also some stuff that could get automated might actually help people with their jobs as well. But as far as jobs are concerned, I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of job loss. I think we're going to see more hiring on demand because there's always a lot of things going on behind the scenes, especially for hacking and stuff like that. There's always a lot of hacks attacks. There's always like a lot of vulnerabilities. Like 2022, there's that vulnerability with a CVE with print spooners, like the print spooner attack. There's a few different hacks that you see online that are super crazy right now. So I think there's always going to be jobs on demand. So I'm not really worried about IT. I think IT is always there, and you'll see more jobs come up along the line. But there's always, obviously, like for me, my personal experience, like the big companies that are like the FANG companies, like FANG companies, the big companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, like those companies, like they're always going to be hiring people, but it's kind of hard like to. I prefer, like, I tell people go apply for a job for a smaller size company, because that company, the company that is not the next Google or the next Netflix, whatever, but some companies out there that are small or mid-sized, they pay pretty good. So I would not see why you shouldn't go apply for that company either. Like, go look at those companies. Like, there's some companies that are still hiring. There's some companies that are actually startups that are coming out of nowhere as well. So there's always going to be hiring on demand. It's just how it is. So
absolutely. Now you mentioned ChatGPT, and I get asked this question a lot on my YouTube channel. That is AI. How is AI going to play into the future of IT? What is your take on it?
I think it's going to make our lives a lot easier, but it's not going to replace anything. It's not there yet. It's not there yet.
Yeah, absolutely. The way I view it is AI is a tool, and the people that are going to excel in the field are the people that are going to realize it as a tool and learn how to leverage it to do their job better. It's only going to make your job easier, but it's still not going to necessarily replace you. At least not, I don't foresee in the next probably 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So. Now, for people that are maybe on the help desk looking to transition into like a security role, like identity access management, what advice do you have for them to switch? I know we talked about like Try Hack Me and stuff like that. And for those of you who don't know what Try Hack Me is, it's an online learning platform. It's like a gamified learning platform that, through going through these different modules teaches you how, the different things you need to learn. But what other advice do you have for people?
So if you're trying to do specifically identity access management, I'm friends with a few people in identity access management. So if you want to do actual real life training, I have a friend called Professor Rogers. He has a Discord. And he does identity access management training for free. So if you want to go, you can come to our Discord, and he'll show you the ropes. He'll show you how to do certain things. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to do things on your own, like some people like to do solo, they're solo on themselves. Like, Try Hack Me is a good resource to help you. Building a home lab. Like, I spoke about home labs. Like, even when I went for a job interview for 701, I spoke about my home lab, and my manager literally liked that. So setting up a home lab, setting up Active Directory from scratch on a server, and then actually adding some sort of third-party tool to protect your domain controller. Like it could be anything. Just put something in there, and then also learning about SSO. Like I would go and sign up for Okta and learning about single sign-in and Samuel and a bunch of other stuff. That's very important to learn as well, because that's what gets asked in identity access management. You got to learn the skills needed for the job. So literally, I will look at the job posting, look at what they're asking for, and then learn those skills. And I have a friend that he has a YouTube channel that he set up ping federation on a domain controller, and then he does identity access management stuff. So there is stuff out there on YouTube you could find from people that you could actually learn this stuff on your own. That's just my 2 cents. I say, like, build a home lab, look at the job description, learn those skills, add those skills to your resume, and you start applying for jobs. That's literally what I would do. We have Discords that have free stuff as well. Come to Discord and talk to people. It can help you. Just come and talk to people. Put yourself out there and actually ask for help. So hopefully that
absolutely.
makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. If people want to find you online, where can they go to find all the amazing resources you offer to this community? I mean, you don't have to list them all. I don't know if we have enough time to list all your resources out there, but maybe the most pertinent ones. How about that?
Yeah, that makes sense. You can find me as Kevin Apolinario, or you could type CapTech IT support. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you, because it's like, there's a lot of stuff. I'm all over the place.
He's on YouTube. He's got a Discord channel. He's on Udemy. He has a wonderful Udemy course that is taken off for people who are looking to get into the field and get onto Helpdesk. He is all over the internet. You are. I don't know how you do it. You must not sleep at all. You are such a great resource. I really appreciate all you do.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Do you have any closing advice for people? If you could go back and tell yourself any piece of advice that you learned, what would it be?
For me, the most important thing for me is, and I train my students on this, is embracing rejection. When you're brand new to IT, you're going to get rejected a lot. A lot of people are going to say a lot of no's because you have no job experience. The manager's going to be like, why should I hire you when you have no work experience? So you got to, if you don't have the mindset to be rejected, it's like dating. If you're gonna get rejected a lot, right? So it's literally like dating. So you're gonna get rejected a lot. So at the end of the day, if you cannot accept rejection, then IT's probably not for you. And I'm saying that because a lot of people get what's called imposter syndrome, but a lot of people also get okay, is IT for me? Because I'm getting a lot of no's. Like, do I belong in this field? And I'll tell you right now, I had 150 no's before I got my second job in IT. So wow, a lot of it has to do with that. It has to do with your mindset. Are you able to accept a rejection? And a lot of it has to do with you being Rocky Balboa. You know how Rocky gets beat up and he has to stand up and he gets up again. He gets up again. You got to have a strong mindset. You have to have a strong mindset to not give up. Even when things look bad, continue applying for jobs. Once someone opens the door and gives you an opportunity and a chance, it's a stepping stone. Once you get that first job in IT, you have experience, and everyone wants to hire you after that. But you really got to get that first job first. You'll be good after that. That's my advice. So. Absolutely.
And again, I say that all the time on the channel. I literally last night during my live stream, I was talking just about that, is once you kind of get your foot in the door into the IT field, all of a sudden all these doors will open up for you. Once you gain that 1 to 2 years of experience, the sky is the limit after that. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you again for taking the time to come on the channel and share all your great information. So I hope you guys found this video informative, and until next time, keep learning.